Welcome to Forbes Vetted Versus, where we pit the best product against each other to determine which one wins out. I'm Brinda Ayer, editorial director at Forbes Vetted and a frequent runner. Today, we're in the Forbes offices to look at 3 fitness trackers: the Apple Watch Series 9, the Garmin Venu 3, and the Coros Pace 3. We'll be comparing these picks across a number of key categories, and we'll be selecting a winner. First up, let's talk about the design, fit, and aesthetics of each watch. Though these are functional pieces of equipment, to get the most benefit out of all of their capabilities, you'll be wearing them pretty much all day. So you want to make sure that they look decent at the very least. The Apple Watch, like all Apple products, is aesthetically minded and has a slim and sleek design. The casing here is made of either aluminum or stainless steel, and the touchscreen watch face, which is either made of an ionized glass or a sapphire crystal, is large but fits neatly on top of the wrist, and there are a number of band color options. The band is solid without any extra perforations, and there are 7 adjustment holes for the closure. There's also a convenient slot where you can neatly tuck in the strap underneath itself. I have an average sized wrist and still found that the smallest perforation was a little bit too big for me, causing the watch to kind of slide around on my arm when I'm doing a workout. The rectangular watch face is generously sized and bright, which allows you to see your metrics pretty easily when you are in the middle of your activity. It's also simple to toggle between the apps and views of the activity using the digital crown on the side of the watch and the single button. The Garmin Venu 3 looks more like a traditional GPS fitness watch. It's got a slim but circular watch face with a stainless steel bezel. Like the Apple Watch, the watch face is bright and features a touchscreen. There are 3 buttons on the side to allow you to navigate between apps. The silicone strap on the Venu is certainly more adjustable than the Apple Watch, with more perforations to make adjustments, and there's a strap loop to keep the end secure. The Venu fit me much better and lay flatter on my wrist than the Apple Watch did, and it had a lighter weight than the Apple Watch, making it feel a little bit less cumbersome during activities. The Garmin offers 2 case sizes and 7 color variations on the Venu 3, though I've got this in black style here, which I like best. Last, we have the Coros Pace 3, which, as you can see here, I have in a very happy teal color. The watch comes either in a silicone or nylon strap configuration, and Coros offers 6 color options for the silicone and 4 for the nylon. I have the perforated silicone version here, which is waterproof and quick drying, but for some people it can feel a little looser and uncomfortable. The nylon band will let you position the watch a little bit more snugly on your arm, but isn't quite as practical for workouts because it is not waterproof and, to be honest, might start to smell if you sweat a lot during your activities. The watch face is comparatively small and has a muted display that isn't super bright, and while there is a touch screen, it is pretty laggy. Like the Apple Watch, but not the Garmin, there is a little crown dial here and a single button on the right side to help you power on and off the device and toggle between activities. This watch was the lightest of the 3 I tried and felt the most comfortable while I was performing activities. In terms of looks and design alone, the Apple Watch wins out, though the Garmin Venu 3 fits me a lot better and is a really nice looking object for a fitness tracker. Let's move on to the real meat and potatoes, the functionality and accuracy of each watch. It's important to note that the Apple Watch wasn't expressly designed to be a fitness tracker, but it just so happens that one of the major changes between the previous versions and the Series 9 was to significantly improve its health and wellness features, including its activity tracking. This includes more accurate readings of heart rate zones and variability, as well as call-outs when the watch senses an irregular heartbeat pattern. I found that it did accurately track these metrics when compared to an independent chest heart rate strap, including how long I spent in certain pace zones and heart rate zones, as well as my walking heart rate and how long it took my body to return to normal post-exercise. The Apple Watch 9 has 20 different fitness activity options to choose from in its library that can be both indoors and outdoors, and it can even auto-detect what kind of activity you're doing once you get going. When I started running, hiking, and lifting weights, it only took a few beats for the watch to start tracking my activity type with accuracy. The watch is fully water resistant up to 50 meters underwater and can even detect what swimming stroke you're doing when you're in the pool. Beyond exercise itself, the Apple Watch tracks your sleep duration and quality, though honestly I find the device a bit too bulky to wear comfortably in bed. Other downsides for functionality include its very, very short battery life. You really do have to charge this every day, and its noticeable lack of GPS accuracy. Every run I have done with an Apple Watch has registered the wrong distance, usually overestimating the amount. Apple claims also that this watch's face, either made from sapphire crystal or ionized glass, depending on which model you purchase, is less prone to scratching and cracking. I put this to the test by repeatedly grazing against a brick wall and some bushes during my testing and really didn't see any blemishes. but I also haven't had any big collisions or falls yet. Speaking of the crystal screen, the Apple Watch's touch sensors are pretty sensitive, and sometimes the screen was inoperable when the watch got sweaty or covered in water from the pool. The Venu 3, by contrast, comes from one of the most trusted GPS brands out there. Garmin makes navigation devices for cars, planes, and ships, so their technology on that front is pretty sophisticated. I found that during my testing runs, the Venu 3 was only a little less accurate than the Coros Pace 3, spoiler alert, in terms of GPS accuracy, which is to say it was pretty accurate. Similarly to the Apple Watch, the Venu comes preloaded with tracking abilities for a bunch of different sports, more than 30 in this case, both indoor and outdoor, but it does not automatically detect what kind of exercise you're doing. It also supports activities for wheelchair users, including hand cycling, which I thought was a very nice touch. Where the Venu really shines, though, is its holistic look that it takes towards movement and health. The watch uploads activities to the Garmin Connect app, a dedicated app, which can accurately detect the intensity level of your exercise and what muscle groups you've targeted, as well as recommending specific recovery advice based on your current levels of fitness. You can program workouts of all types into the Venu, which I frequently do with running intervals and weight sets, and the watch does the rest of the thinking for you. You can technically do this on the Apple Watch too, but it's rather cumbersome to do it on the tiny watch face instead of programming it into an app, like with the Garmin. In terms of heart rate monitoring, when compared with a chest strap, I found this wrist heart rate monitor to be pretty accurate on the Venu 3, which is a good thing because it uses this heart rate data primarily to offer the recovery and intensity advice I mentioned above. Like the Apple Watch, the Venu 3 has sleep tracking, but it ups the ante by offering specific insights into how much shut-eye you should get based on the activities that you've done for the day. However, like the Apple Watch, I haven't really availed of this tracking functionality because I just can't comfortably wear this watch to bed. The battery life on the watch is excellent, lasting up to 14 days in smartwatch mode, aka not turning on the GPS for the full duration, on one charge, even with its bright color screen and its ability to display calls and text messages from your phone. The Coros Pace 3 is the lowest tech of the three watches we're talking about today, but what it does really, really well and with great accuracy. The GPS measurements are the best of all the fitness trackers that we've been talking about, and the watch is in fact equipped with dual frequency GPS capabilities, the only one of the three models we're talking about today. That basically means that the watch combines two satellite bands to gather positioning information, making it just much more precise. In terms of heart rate monitoring, I found that the measurements with the Coros were just within a couple beats per measure of my chest strap, which is pretty impressive and really accurate. There are definitely fewer activities supported on the Coros Pace than the Venu 3, just 24, including outdoor and indoor and water activities. Like the Venu 3 and the Apple Watch, you can preload specific workout sets and intervals into the Coros, and the watch does all the rest of the work for you. I regularly use this feature, and it's very convenient. It will just beep 5 seconds before your next set is about to begin so that you know when it's coming up. The watch is fully waterproof and can withstand depths of up to 50 meters underwater, making it pretty on par. Also, similarly to the Venu 3, but honestly with even better finesse, the Coros gives precise training and recovery insights for running specifically. In addition to tracking speed, distance, pace zones, calories burned, the works, the watch will share details on things like your running form, your power, your stride length and ratio, and even the balance between your right and left sides. It's an immensely helpful watch for running specific metrics and has made me a better athlete as a result. Other pluses of this watch include the ability to store music on the device and pair it independently with your Bluetooth headphones. You can technically also do that on the other two devices that we're talking about, but for such a comparatively basic watch, it's pretty cool that it has this feature. The battery life is also a whopping 17 days on one charge, and if you have it exclusively in GPS mode, you can wear it for up to 38 hours without the battery dying. That means that you can run an ultra marathon and your watch still won't die. In terms of functionality, the Venu 3 is absolutely the winner, though the Apple Watch certainly holds its own in terms of sophistication, and the Coros wins the day on battery life. Finally, let's evaluate user-friendliness and price. If you are an Apple user, you will feel very at home with this watch. There are so many smartphone and activity-related functions on this watch, but it is very intuitive to use and connects with all the rest of your tech. However, this Series 9, it's the middle-of-the-road watch in Apple's suite of watch products, and it's still a whopping $699 and up for the version with the stainless steel case and crystal front. The watch, of course, only pairs with an iPhone, so Android users are, of course, out of luck. The Garmin Venu 3 comes in at $449.99, which is a little bit more expensive than the entry-level Apple Watch configurations, but is also considerably more powerful in its fitness-specific capabilities. While the watch face and the Garmin Connect app can be both a little clunky to navigate, the learning curve isn't too steep. Its relative lack of functions compared with the Apple Watch also makes it pretty easy to figure out after some self-exploration and trial and error. The Garmin Venu 3 pairs with both Apple and Android devices, making it more versatile for users in general. Last, the Coros Pace 3 is by far the most affordable fitness tracker we are discussing today. It's $229 even, making it about $200 cheaper than the Apple Watch Series 9 and Garmin Venu 3. The watch interface and its associated app are really bare bones, meaning that they're both dead simple to figure out. You can pair this watch with both Android and Apple products alike. To recap, here is where we stand with each fitness tracker in our lineup. In terms of looks, our Apple Watch Series 9 got a point. Functionality went to the Garmin Venu 3. Last, in terms of the delicate balance between user benefit and price, the Venu 3 wins out. That means that our Venu 3 is our overall winner. Though, if running is your primary sport, the Coros Pace 3 is a really stellar option. And if you want more general smartphone capabilities, then the Apple Watch is your best bet. Thank you so much for tuning in to Forbes Vetted Versus. If you want to learn more about all of these products we talked about today, please check out the links in the description. For even more product reviews on fitness and gear and beyond, be sure to follow Forbes Vetted.